And also, Shred is Bobo, that not funny dude from the Island people, right?
What? Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, and forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate it and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about Animal Control. Animal Control has 34 episodes after 4 seasons on Fox. Today we're talking about episode 1, which was called Weasels and Ostriches, originally airing February 16th, 2023. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me, as always, the boys, Joe, Ferg, Nick Nogoro. What's going on, guys?
Hey-o.
It's actually Weiner.
Hey.
So, all right, so right off the bat, Animal Control, this was a show that I have been very aware of, and I think we've talked about doing it before, but I had never actually watched. Ferg, you picked this one.
No, that's not me.
I picked this one.
Nick, you picked this one, and not Ferg. What drove you to pick this one?
I just kept seeing it mentioned and advertised.
This is the one.
What?
This is the one Fox put money behind, and we're like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
show.
right, yeah.
It's weird, yeah.
I just kept seeing it pop up, and I never saw anything about it, and it looked interesting, so I picked it.
You know what I think's weird about this show, and we'll get into it later, like how we feel about the show. Joe, you're right. This is one that they seem to be all in on. Now, at this point in time, they've already announced the 5th season's going to happen.
I can't believe that.
But when I look at,
swear it got canceled, but
when I look at ratings and stuff, IMDb 6.9, Rotten Tomatoes only has an audience score 76. So not bad scores, but not a juggernaut. I don't really see a lot.
That's good nowadays.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of stuff about the show.
I never hear anybody talk about this show.
And
That's
as far
why
as
I'm shocked.
internet-y stuff, I don't see clips ever get posted by anybody. I don't see any weird memes that relate to the show. So it's just I'm a little surprised at the way that they don't really back their shows to have this one where they're keep pumping them out, boys. But I don't see the return on the investment for this. So why is it this one that they're so good on?
Was Community on Fox too?
No, that was
NBC.
NBC, was it?
Yeah.
I gotta double
I think it was part of that
now.
block.
It doesn't feel like an NBC show, but it must.
With shows like this, though, don't forget, just like anything else, there are shows, when we talk about wrestling a lot, right? Until the modern era, wrestling always drew really good numbers, but couldn't get people to advertise, right? So they couldn't make a lot of money. They couldn't get Coca-Cola or fucking Chevy. So they couldn't get the big money. Those got Slim Jim and fucking Skittles or whatever. No offense to either of those. A show like this, I feel like they probably get really good advertising. They get good money on it. It's in a primetime slot. And it's funny, and there's people watching it, so it works. It's I think it hits that mix of everything.
And listen, we'll talk about the show. It's not that I think the show's a bad show by any means. I'm just a little surprised that this is knowing Fox and knowing what we've seen historically with them, for them to be giving the show the amount of attention it gets and to not be seeing the show blow up as far as popularity. I'm sure it does, but it's just not one of those things where like I said, I've never seen even just a clip from an episode pop up on Instagram or anything like that ever. So, just a little surprised.
You just have that one stingy exec. See, this is why we don't put money in stuff.
Yeah. And then, this is one of those shows too. I don't know if this is true. I just did a quick search before we went on, but it says it's available on Hulu and Netflix. So you can basically watch it on any streamer right now.
Not quite. So on Hulu, they're doing that thing where Hulu does where it's you can watch the newest episodes only. So on Hulu, the most recent 3 episodes are on there, but the first few seasons are all on Netflix.
Got it.
Tell me how I figured that out. I was God damn it, Hulu. I don't want to pay for this episode.
So, and then leading up to recording, did any of you guys watch this yet?
No, this is my first.
I did. I watched the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
I didn't watch this newest one.
My wife has been watching it. She really likes it. She was I think you'll enjoy this show. You should watch it. And I just, again, there's not a lot of free time to watch a lot of different shows at this point. Also, now I'm on season 4 of Raising Hope. When something clicks...
And the 7th time of watching Stumble.
I've watched Stumble so many fucking times. Dude, I literally check every day. I once a morning will Google Stumble season 2 ? Just hoping that it doesn't get fucking canceled.
You know who else does that? The Stumble subreddit. That's all they can do. They're so scared that it's gonna get canceled.
They're terrified, and I'm scared too because I think it's the best sitcom in years. I think it's so fucking funny.
It's a good
Did you watch
sitcom.
the whole? You watch the whole thing, yeah, dude. It just gets funnier and funnier. The Nazi who runs the button factory, like that dude, should get a spinoff all week long.
But yeah, so as far as this goes, again, Animal Control, Joel McHale, we already mentioned Community. This is like, I don't feel like watching this episode. He's one of those guys who like, I really like him. So this is going to sound negative,
I know what
but
you're
he's like a one note guy, right?
Yes, he is
Joel
just
McHale playing Joel McHale.
Yes, yeah. It's like it's to a fault, in my opinion.
I agree, but I also think he was the perfect casting to play Chevy Chase in A Futile and Stupid Gesture because he kind of is very much that like 80s one note Chevy Chase. You love it so much, but it is one thing, which is weird because they had the contentious relationship through Community. I love Joel McHale too. He does one thing and does it very, very well. I think much like, if you watch Fletch or something, you're like, that's what Chevy does, or Spies Like Us or whatever.
Right.
I love both of them.
But yeah, might as well just get into the episode itself. When the show opens, we first see a guy named Shred who works in Animal Control, and he's waiting outside for Frank, that's Joel McHale's character, to pick him up. And he picks him up in like the Animal Control truck. When he first gets him, he's telling this kid Shred, like, hey, if I'm going to pick you up, like, I expect coffee. Frank's character doesn't like working with other people. He's very much like as he says throughout the episode, a lone wolf.
Oh.
And Shred is like the ultimate. Well, he has new guy energy, and he's just like super positive. So there's a big clash.
I like this too because already, like, I tracked this from the beginning. Like, that's such an 80s, 70s cop movie trope. It's like whoever's picking up the partner, they have coffee. That's always a thing, right? Like, it always goes to that. So I did like that. I was like, oh, he was a cop. Like, I knew right away because they're clearly writing that to fit that mold.
What I thought was funny about the show in general is the way that it's set up. Because you have their pairing, and then you have like the other pairing we'll see in a minute. But like, it's set up very cop-like. It is very cop show. It just so happens that
It's
instead
the
of them doing,
precinct. It's
you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like
the boss and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Only they happen to be
the-
just doing pest control instead of actual police work.
But
The
that
other
said,
couple is so much more interesting. Just in my opinion.
I will say this though, and like, it's funny living some places a little more, like, it's not wild where I live, but like Maine's huge, right? So like the one time I've had to interact with animal control, it was a game warden, which is like its own separate thing where it's like a big fucking jacked sheriff covered in gun strap was like, I'll get that bat out of your house. And you're like, holy shit, you're like a real cop,
I've dealt with many game wardens.
Yeah, they're like hardcore dudes. It's like a crazy job because they're like out in the wilderness half the time. They're like on fucking snowmobiles.
Yeah,
and, like,
they'll like just show up on a boat out of nowhere.
This little like kind of mini scene ends with them getting like a call. So over the radio, they're getting dispatched because there's a small animal in an attic that they have to go respond to. And that's when we cut over to one of the other trucks. And like I said, it is very like buddy cop, like the two of them. And now we get to the other, like what would be a squad car, but it's just another animal control truck. And this is when we first meet Amit and Victoria. And they do the same job. So now we cut into their car, and it's real quick. Basically, they're introducing us to them real fast and just basically telling us Amit's a family guy, has kids. He's always running around. Victoria lives more of a wild life. She goes to like clubs with drugs and, ends up naked places.
Ravi Patel is one of those guys I see too, and I'm like, oh, I love that guy. He's like one of those weird faces. Like, he was in the new Justified for a while. He like pops into every show for like one episode, and you're like, I love that guy.
He's got such a weird face. Like, I don't know how else to explain that, but he just has a really weird face.
He does put upon funny with that face so well. Like, later in the episode when it comes, there's like kids and a dog in his house, and he's just like so put upon and like, no. Like, he's got the perfect like puppy dog face for that.
His nose is like disproportionately large for the rest of his face.
I think he has a nice face.
Yeah, I'm not here to body shame anybody. What I think is funny about him is there's so many shows where people might have their like shoot real first name, but this is a rare case where his character's last name is the same as his real last name.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so
Reverse Tony Danza.
so there's a lot of back and forth.
This is our new housekeeper, Danza Tony. Wait, what?
Bill Danza. But
to be fair, that kind of works. Oh, Bill Danza. Like, I can see him saying it.
Oh, Billy Danza.
Billy Danz.
So there's a lot of back and forth. We're going from car to car throughout the whole, first part. we're just getting, I don't want to just go back and forth the whole time, but the general vibes we're getting in this is we're learning about these characters. There's a lot more about like, you know, with Amit and Victoria, like there's a point where she's talking about getting a puppy. She's showing Amit a picture of like one she's looking at online, and he's like, "Oh, don't do it." But this guy like comes from a world of actual responsibility, so like he's telling her like, "Hey, just so you know, it's like a lot. Like
he's like,
just get a
and
bird."
Kids, it's a lot to handle. Yeah. Although to be fair, birds also a lot to handle.
That's because they can fly.
Well, it's that like
That'll
even
do
if you
it.
cage them, like they're noisy. They have to be fed. You have to clean their cage all the time if they're in a cage, right? Because they're just
That's
shitting
any
into a
animal.
cage. Well, I'm saying a caged animal in general too. Like, but dogs, like I love dogs. I never had a dog personally because I just don't have that time and part of my life that I can give to being like, I'm happy to go out and walk you in a snowstorm right now. Like, that's
I heard
the kind of
dogs
thing.
don't love you though.
Dogs do not love me. I've been bit by dogs. I almost got attacked by a dog recently again. Even though every time I walk by a dog, I'm like, oh, puppy. They always lunge at me. And sometimes I end up in the emergency room.
He's just
So
not that into you, Joe. Move on.
I have to move on. Yeah, but my
'Cause you
cat's not into me either. It's not fair. I want an animal who likes me.
Get a
You-
turtle.
You need to stop traveling with ham and pepperoni in your pockets.
They smell it in my sweat.
That's
It's not my
why.
fault. Yeah.
So we get back to Frank and Shred, and they pull up to a house. And as soon as they get there, Frank's telling Shred, like, hey, just wait in the car for a second. Like, I'm going to go grab some coffee down the street. You know, then we'll head in. And he also gets him with oh, by the way, rookie always pays. He's like, oh, yeah. Hazing recognized. He's like, so, as he's telling him how he takes his coffee, Frank's already gone after he gives him the card.
I will say this too real quick because you sort of touched on it, but it's almost hard to do a review of this because of the whiplash. But this show goes back and forth
A
all
lot.
the time between different crews who are out on the road and the precinct. So it's hard to like catalog where you are all the time without being like, and now we're back to this. So that's gonna happen a lot in this episode.
I mean, like, to be completely honest to anyone listening, sometimes, like, when I'm prepping for shows, when we're doing, like, single cams, like, this is a single cam show, for those of you who haven't watched this show before yet, versus, like, the classic sitcom, like, the multicam style. When you do single cams, they tend to be harder to cover because there's just so much more movement.
My notes always end up being so much fucking longer on shows like this because you're like, so much is happening that you're trying to, like, capture everything.
Right.
Why did he park at the house and not drive to the coffee shop, get the coffee, and then drive to the house?
I think he just wanted the walk. I would do that too, but like, I'm gonna take the 10 minutes by myself and like be away from the scenario.
When he does walk off to go get a coffee, it leaves Shred alone in the car. So he's just sitting there, and then, like, this dude walks up, and he's like, hey, and, like, knocks on the window. He's like, are you coming in? He's like, oh, yeah, just, my partner's gonna be a minute, and then we'll head. He's like, hey, I don't have a minute. It's my 10th anniversary, and I was trying to surprise my wife with brunch, and this is, like, killing the mood. And he's like, yeah, he's just like, I'm new. I'm not really, like, equipped for this stuff yet. He's like, please, dude, like, my wife's libido is very delicate. You have to help me out.
I love that line.
The
Also,
two-headed
these guys
sex.
are way too old to be like, we're having post-food sex. You know what I mean? Like, it's our 10th anniversary, but like, post-food sex is a young person's game.
Hold on, you brought this up before.
Brunch is a lot of cheese.
And although
Big difference.
I agree to a degree, Joe, you make it sound like you're afraid to have sex after, like, just having a sandwich. Like, if you have,
First
like,
of
a
all-
big meal, like, I get it. But, like, you can eat something.
Well,
and still
Think
put
about
you-
Joe's stomach.
That's
To be fair, I have a
That's true.
terrible relationship with food. So I don't like to eat before I do anything. That's why when I have to like travel for work, it's like, oh, well, it was a good week. I didn't eat for 7 days. That's pretty good. But I think if you're like, breakfast food is inherently heavy and greasy. Just doesn't feel like a good pre-sex meal to me when you're older. You can pull
Not
that shit off when
cereal.
you're 22. I don't think they're, well, bran flakes. Like, no, you picked the wrong cereal.
2 bowls? 3 bowls?
One cup.
So,
Yeah, no colon blow for them.
yeah,
But
I,
I guess
I
you're
was talking
having,
about,
I
glad
don't
you got
have
the
a colon
colon blow
blow, yeah.
reference.
Captain Crunch, maybe you're okay. The sugar might get you off for a while, but
You know what wouldn't
But then
bother
you
you?
have a cut up mouth.
Have a nice big bowl of Crispix, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, then you can have bland milk sex.
I'm not gonna ask. So we cut to the two of them inside, right? And they're taking like the drop down thing from the attic so he can climb up the stairs and check. While they're talking, Shred talks about, well, first off, we find out why his name is Shred, because his real name's Fred, but he used to be a professional snowboarder, and then he tore his ACL and it kind of derailed his career. And as he's telling him about that, he's like heading up the stairs, like to the attic with the flashlight. And the guy's like, is this going to take long? He's like, no, it's not going to take long. He's like, if I had to guess, probably just like, just a sweet little guy up there. And like, he turns the flashlight and you catch like the weasel, like dead on. I don't know enough about weasels. Do weasels actually hiss like this?
I think it's a ferret.
I think weasels do hiss, but I don't think there's that many feral weasels in the city.
Ferrets and weasels are pretty
It is a weasel. The episode's called like Weasels and
Ostriches.
Ostriches.
But I don't think I've ever seen a weasel in... Like, we grew up in the city. I've never seen one in real life that wasn't in like a pet store or a zoo. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I've never heard of someone being like, there was a weasel in Attic. A raccoon, sure. You know, a skunk, Jay's house, always. That's raccoon and Jay's. It was in your room, right?
I think we got rid of them all. We'll see. I hope so.
Well, now we have adorable bunnies everywhere. Like everywhere.
We do
There
have
are
a
bunnies
lot of
all
bunnies,
over the
yeah.
place, yeah. And also, way more feral turkeys than I ever would have thought of.
That too. I wonder what died off where all these other different animals are like everywhere now.
It's funny because we also have coyotes. It's like, I mean, how
The predator
what are you
and
doing?
prey have weirdly both
Yeah.
increased, yeah.
The weasel hisses. Shred falls off the ladder. And when he goes backwards, he smacks the dude in the eye with his flashlight. So they both go down and they're both laying on the ground now. And then while they're laying there, the weasel like falls from the sky and like lands on him, then runs off. I got a little jump on that one. I didn't see it coming. He just like fell out of nowhere.
As you explain it though, as the weasel, I would just like it so much better if it was Pauly Shore jumping.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in your attic.
Yeah.
Follow the weasel link, bitch. Ow!
What's with the
Oh,
flashlight,
in the jungle.
buddy? So the weasel runs off, and then it cuts to the wife who's in the living room, which is where it ran into, and she's screaming. So now the other two guys run down the stairs to where she's at, and Shred's like, all right, everyone stay calm. I got this. He's like, it's okay, weasel. And he's like, the weasel's under the ottoman. So he like goes to like lean over towards it. And then the weasel runs out and goes straight into the fireplace and just stays in there with the fire.
The pause on him just being in there and then fucking Shred
bad
going,
move,
dude, bad choice. I laughed so fucking hard at that. I didn't expect it at all. It was my first real laugh of the episode. It was like, also, well, no, spoiler alert, the weasel runs out. Worst choice. If the weasel just ran in and died and they had to deal with that, way fucking funny.
Dude, I legit wrote that in my notes. I was like, I think that it would have been such a funnier scene if it just ended that awkward.
Yeah,
If the-
it'd be so much funner to be like, sometimes they
Yeah.
run into the fire and fucking die. Because when he runs back out, if his whole body was on fire, maybe then you could be more forgiving of it, but just his tail's on fire?
Cause it's like, cause you just have that super awkwardness, like the thing screams and eventually it could like the screaming stops and now they're all uncomfortable. And then like you have like Frank walk in and just be like, that'll be like $482. You know what I mean? Like just, I think that would have been the way to do it.
Yeah, that would also ruin her libido, just smelling cooking weasel.
I mean, I
It
think her
smells good,
libido's
though. You
done
don't know
for the
that.
day. I don't think, I mean, unless she's really into, like, we're not here to kink shame ever, right? But if that's not her kink, I think that sex is done for the day. Also, his eye is, unless her kink is also his eye being bashed up.
Maybe it is.
But as you guys said, it does not die. It runs out. Just the tail's on fire. When it goes under the ottoman again, the ottoman catches fire. Shred tries to like grab a pillow and like smack the fire with the pillow, which just catches the pillow on fire. And then in another move of genius, just throws the pillow on the ground right next to the couch. So now the couch catches fire.
It's also terrifying to think that, like, we live in homes where everything is so flammable.
Were you
Yeah.
guys down Deer Island the night somebody had just dumped a couch down there, right? And we would always go down there and have fires on the beach. And so like we were drinking one night and as we were leaving, we saw the couch and we were like, you guys want to throw it on the fire? And so, yeah, so me and a buddy picked it up and threw it on top of the fire. I'm telling you, that thing caught fire and was just an inferno in an instant. Like it
Immediately
was
roaring,
like
yeah.
it was unbelievable, and it was like done burning 30 seconds later. Like that's how quickly it went up. It
They're
just
just
made
springs.
of like
Just
fall.
hot
Yeah, there's
springs,
legit.
yeah.
It was just like the frame and springs, and it was just like a flash flame and it was gone. I was like, holy shit.
I have the most fear from like December 3rd through December 26th every year, because you see those videos of people's Christmas trees catching on fire, and it's like it shoots up like a rocket of flame and it burns so hot and so fast, and you're just in bed being like, hope the tree doesn't catch on fire, hope the tree doesn't catch on fire, because like, what do? There's nothing. You're done. Your house
That's
is
why you
fucking
don't get a
toast.
real tree.
Well, you have to get a real tree because otherwise there's no magic in Christmas.
Oh, my tree's pretty magical and it's fake.
I would say like fake trees, you can do even more magical things with them. They can change colors.
I did buy a fake tree for my office this year. It's neon green and it's got a little curl on top like the Grinch. And it is pretty wonderful. And it was nice up here. But downstairs, we had a real tree.
It's funny because just like I thought the scene should have ended with the weasel just dying in the fire, also I didn't expect it to end so easily once it became a fire. So they hand him a fire extinguisher and he just puts the fire out. And I was like, oh, like I thought this was going to be like a bigger to do. And then it's just like, no, there's just damage to the furniture now. And it just kind of ends. And then you see the weasel run out. And that's where Frank's just walking in with the 2 coffees in his hand and going, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate our service today?
This was when I was like, oh, we're not getting a different Joel McHale in this one. This is like that line right there. I was like, we're just getting Jeff. Like,
Yeah, that's Jeff Winger.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It just felt like something was off on it. Cause I feel like there was some missteps. Like it either should have ended way sooner or should have been way more extreme. And like they hit this really odd, like just slightly problematic situation.
If you're gonna go the fire route, burn down that fucking house. Like,
Yeah, go all the way. I agree.
I mean, I get, though, that they, like, although I guess they could have brought Muffins to, like, a shelter later. That's actually kind of funnier, where it's like, we're really sorry about everything, and then he has the attack where they're, like, at a shelter with none of their stuff anymore. Okay, like, as usual, we relitigate and rewrite these shows, and I think that's for the best. I kind of think Joel McHale's funny walking in here, but I think even though he is funniest with his, like, pithy one-liners, he would have been funnier not saying anything.
Yeah.
If he
Or just like
looked,
watching
holding
the house
copies,
burn from
and
outside.
didn't say anything, funnier.
We get the intro right after this, and the intro is one of those instrumental for the actual song. And I like the visuals. It was like almost like a look kind of like a paper stop animation type of thing, but like
kind of like a watercolor thing to it.
Yeah,
too.
it was like an interesting art thing. Like it was nothing like crazy innovative, but like I thought it looked nice and it was fine for what it was.
Yeah.
And there's like fun things too, where it's like Godzilla clips, but it's domestic animals. Like, so it's some effort went into it, and it was short enough to be like, that was fun to watch. But I will say, if I'm watching episode 2, I'm definitely hitting skip intro.
Yeah. And then in the next scene, we're at their actual office at the animal control center, and it's like kind of one of those like
still. If you're an animal cop, I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah.
Also, by the way, I looked this up. Seattle is a very specific, different.
But are they considered animal cops?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. So in Seattle, so animal control is its own thing, right? And it's run differently in every state / city, region, whatever, right? Like we had animal control in Winthrop growing up, right? It was run by the town. So it's kind of like a municipality that's, just whatever. It's public works. In Seattle, it's different. There's a few states that do this. It's actually considered to be part of law enforcement in Seattle. And you make like a really good amount of money to do it. So it's unionized like the cops, everything else, but to get the job is really hard too, because like it's such a good paying like real job with union benefits and money that you have to like have either been like an ex-cop or have like bilingual stuff or like be animal trained, have like worked in a zoo or whatever. So like it's actually a real deal. So like it makes sense for Joel's character to get this job after. Yeah. Because that's who they're hiring, and it's enough money that like he can't have a nice apartment with wine at the end, right? We're like, I don't know how much they make. Because if you look up just the national average of like what a animal cop makes regularly versus Seattle, it's a huge difference in money.
Those are always the best episodes of Cops, though, when they had to deal with animals.
It's a feral zebra! Like, I don't know what the fuck to do, man. There's a zebra in the swimming pool, and I'm just gonna fucking shoot it, I guess.
It's funny, because, like, their office does have that, like it looks similar to, like, the set of, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's like that open desk kind of area, like, that you would see, like, a lot of cop shows are stylized like this.
And also, Shred is Bobo, that not funny dude from The Island people, right?
What?
He's saying that he's Andy Samberg.
Thank you. Ferg is the joke whisperer.
Joe.
No, I definitely I got that vibe for sure. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe at all.
Shred is
I meant to bring it up.
He doesn't have Andy Samberg's swag or his confidence.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah. I didn't. Me personally, at least, I didn't really link them at all. Like, it didn't even
I definitely
Didn't
did
catch
think
a whiff of
about
that.
When he first walked into the car with Joel in the very first scene, I thought it was him.
No, I don't know. I didn't see it. But in any event, they're all sitting around in their office. All the four that we just met sitting at their respective desks, and their boss, Emily, walks out. It's like, hey, guys, I made you guys muffins. And they're like, uh-oh. It's like, what? It's like, every time you bake something, it's because you want something from us. It's like, no, I made muffins. It's like, oh, this is going to be bad. These are fresh out of the oven. It's like, no. Well, okay, yeah, like I need volunteers to clean the kennels this weekend.
Emily's one of my favorite characters because she's like so sweet, but she's also immature. Like when she sends the text, like,
Yeah.
not getting sued, eat a bag of shit. Like,
It's, she almost comes off as like, will be good for her job in like 5 years, but she's still a little young. Like she got the job a little earlier than she was supposed to.
I think we've all seen that before too, though, right? Where like people become like the boss, and you're like, uh-oh. Like you're,
Yeah.
and even if it's not your boss, you're like, ugh, it's not gonna go well. I mean, I've seen it. I remember, I don't want to say counseling, but I remember somebody coming to me before once and being like, hey, if they offered me this job as manager, I was like, I wouldn't take it. And they said it's like a big pay bump, and I was like, okay. They're like, but they said if I can't get X, Y, and Z done before this date, like I'll get fired. Like I can't get back to my like older position. And I was like, I wouldn't do it. And they took it, and they were gone. Like I was like, and that's not like being a genius. It's just being like, that seems like a being set up to fail type scenario.
Really does, yeah.
You know, like I think that's a hard thing in companies when you work. You're like, do I go for this one thing that might fuck me over? Sometimes you can make it work and make a lot more money. But it seems like for sure this girl was like well in over her head. But some people fall upwards so well that like maybe she just continues to like keep that working.
Yeah, and sometimes when you just have that credit on your resume, it helps you get other positions at that level afterwards. After she mentions the whole thing about needing to volunteer for the kennel cleaning, immediately everyone's volunteering Frank because of all the stuff that happened with the Weasel situation. He was even though he wasn't really the one there during it, he was the senior officer for that part. So they're kind of giving him the blame.
that's bullshit. He gave him a direct order to stay in the truck.
I also like his excuse when he said, I was getting coffee. I'm guilty of negligence, not incompetence. It's a lower crime. And right after he said that is when Templeton is what? What is Templeton? He's just another one of them? Because sometimes they make it sound like she's like equivalent to Emily. But she's
one of them from a lesser precinct. That's why
from
he
a
wants
different
her
precinct.
job.
Okay. So he walks in. Templeton is played by Jerry D, who we've covered him before. He was in the Moody's, and more importantly, was the Canadian host of Family Feud for the infamous Chicken. So
I love that that's the reason we know him. Also, he has like a teacher sitcom, like Mr. D's Class or something, that like now we have to cover because he's come up enough times.
yeah, and then also like the creators of this show like have like a couple of them both wrote on the Moody's. So there's like a lot of links if you go through like all their stuff.
Pretty much everybody who was on this was on the Moody's. It was like when we did Raising Hope, where it was like everybody was in everything everybody did going forward after that.
So he comes in, he's like, oh, came to gloat about the Weasel barbecue. Again, it sounds like he has like a thing with Emily in that he's like gunning for her job. Like that seems to be like his long-term goal.
Well, he is. They flat out say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said he wants to run that precinct. So we don't see it now. I'm assuming
That's why I was confused by his title, because he looks like he's just one of the rest of them, like his uniform and everything. But I thought like he was her in another precinct, but he's...
No, I think because he's in uniform too, he's not, right? Because she's in like business casual or whatever.
He's just like next in line.
Or like he's like got enough experience that like whenever there's an opening for a leader somewhere else, he would get it. So at that point, you're trying to like knock out anybody who is the manager, so you can go for it. And she seems like an easy target, right? She's kind of like bumbly.
And when he's talking, like he's giving us a little bit of, like he's telling us, the viewer, that couple that had the Weasel eventually filed a damage complaint or whatever after the situation. So there's like more to be had with that situation, which, we'll get into later in the episode, but this is our way of finding that out.
The nightmare of that is that like most people, like if that happened to you, right, you'd be like, fuck, what a nightmare. Okay. So you call your insurance company, and insurance companies are such shitheads that they'd be like, that's not us. No, that's the state. You gotta sue them now. Like, nobody helps you anymore. I broke my wrist on my own last year. Literally, just doing a dumb thing by myself. And I literally this is almost a year ago now. I had to go on a phone call last week and again reiterate that it was not at work because the insurance company was trying so hard to not have to pay for me hurting myself. They're like, well, were you working when you went skateboarding? Like, no, it was a Sunday. Like, were you on a phone with a work call when you fell on the skateboard? Like, no, I was by myself. Like, are you sure? It's like, insurance is supposed to help us. Why are you trying to fuck me so hard? And the fucking physical letter they sent me was so threatening. They were like, if you don't call us, we're probably just going to charge you for all of this shit. Which is like surgery, casts, physical therapy, all this shit. Why? I fucking hate insurance companies. And this insurance company, I'm sure, just called and they were like, no, we can't do anything. Sue the state.
I'd be
fucking so
stoked.
mad. Fucking hate the world so much.
I'd be stoked though. You get a whole new set of furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2 years when they fucking settle after you've had to buy it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with it. They're never just like, that's correct. Yeah, we fucked that up. Here's $1,200. Whatever.
Yeah, here's
like,
the corporate card. Yeah, just bring it back when you're done.
Bureaucracy is fucking so infuriating.
When Emily and Templeton both end up walking off after a brief conversation, and Shred starts asking the rest of them, like, hey, why is that guy so mean to her? And that's when we find out, like, his aspirations. They mention, but we got to make sure that Emily doesn't go because even though she's definitely not qualified for this job, she's a super pushover and easy to manipulate. And that's when we find out that they got her for like a top of the line panini press.
I fucking love a good panini.
So as far as like a panini press goes though, I mean, it just makes it hard, but like the ripples are in the right place, right? I feel like there's so many, like, what is it different than a waffle iron? Shit,
So,
it's just
all right.
flat.
So, yes,
Oh man,
in
I'm
a
gonna make
sense
panini
that
in my waffle iron.
waffle irons just close, right? Like a book, right? A panini press has like that hinge where it comes down flat. Does that
Okay.
make sense? So it's not like applying pressure at an angle, it's coming straight down, which is good for sandwiches. You don't want it to like push everything out of the other side of the sandwich, right?
It'd be like those pizza
Um,
rolls we got as kids in school that were just like long, like thin, cylindrical
pizza sticks.
things.
Yeah, the pizza
Pepperoni
sticks.
pizza sticks. Those were the tits.
Those are like did Hot Pockets exist when those came out
Hot Pocket made
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
for
that- I
our
think-
school?
Yeah. I
don't think for
I don't
our
know
school,
why
but
I
in
remember
general,
I mean,
it
it
this,
makes
but I
exists.
remember it.
It makes sense
They had
because
a
they were
contract with Winthrop Middle
identical.
School.
Specifically for Winthrop.
Hot Pocket like was on the wrapper. I don't know why, because it was legit 30 years ago. But
My mom worked for the kitchen in the schools, and a friend, I won't name drop him, but like a friend came over when we were in like early middle school, and my mom was like, hey, I got some pizza sticks from the school if you guys want some. And like I bumped into him. It was like the fucking maybe like our 20-year reunion. He brings it up every time I see him. He's like, dude, you remember when we got to eat pizza sticks outside of school? It's like, yeah, man. It blew his mind. But those things are fucking awesome. I love those.
They were really good, but they were definitely, looking back now, where I'm like, they were not enough food.
no, they were
that
when
makes
you were
sense.
8. You
Yeah.
know?
No, I don't think they
Yeah,
were for
10,
them
yeah,
too.
10.
Like, thinking about it now, we're like, it's not like it's not very well balanced. It was like, here's a cardboard tray, or not even cardboard, styrofoam with one pizza stick on it. Like, I feel like now they at least try to be like, here's an apple. Like, no one eats it, but like at least they
Yeah.
give it to you, you know?
This is when we meet Dolores for the first time, and she works like front desk. She's like, okay, here's a novel idea. Try standing closer to the toilet and actually aiming so the pee goes in the bowl and not on the floor.
That's no fun.
And Frank goes, that's a terrible idea for a novel.
I thought that was a really funny retort.
That is a great line. Also, in a building that big, we've all worked in offices. Like, there's always more than one bathroom. There's never like that building's way too big to have one toilet. You know what I mean?
I don't think that building's that big.
It looks pretty big. Like, I've worked in
Yeah,
smaller
from the
offices like that,
establishing
and they
shot,
always
it was
have
pretty
like
big.
a men's room and a women's room or whatever. There's always two or two unisex bathrooms. Like, there's always more than one.
But at this point, she ends up letting them know, because of all of this situation, they're going to start locking the bathroom and you have to go get it from the front desk every time you have to pee.
The solution is just never close the door.
I would raise such an ungodly fucking, for lack of a better term, stink about this. You're gonna lock the bathroom?
Yeah, who
Fuck
the fuck
you.
are you?
There's no
secure-
way, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would quit over that. I'm a man with
I
a
would too.
terrible tummy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm out.
I'd get a lawyer.
I'd make a copy of the key and give them to everyone.
I did that at my other job. I made a copy of the keys. Fuck that. I'm not going to ask for a key to go to the bathroom at work. I'm in a fucking jail.
I had to use the bathroom at the library recently. So the library in town, this is so funny. Like the library exists when you're a kid, and then it exists when you're an adult if you have kids. And it doesn't exist anywhere else unless you very badly in your life on drugs. Those are when the library exists. If you're a homeless guy who like needs to jerk off to a computer. But not now, though. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to the library now. But, like, we go with my daughter to do, like, kids' classes and sing-along songs, whatever. So I had a Monday off randomly, and that's when this class was, and I went, and I was like, oh, I have to pee. Can I use the bathroom? And they were like, the code is... And they, like slipped it under, because they were like, we don't want a junkie hearing about this and sleeping in. And I was like, this seems a little extreme. And then last week, my wife texted me, and she was like, we had to leave, because they had to, like, route us out the third way, because somebody, like, overdosed and died in the bathroom. It's like, oh my god, what's happening to our fucking libraries?
I was in BPL not that long ago, like, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Boston Public Library, and it's like overrun with homeless people. Like they don't do anything about it. And for those of you who don't know, Boston Public Library is gigantic, humongous, and there's like chairs and couches, and like these people are just
it's a research library.
It sucks. Like it really ruins the experience of a really nice place.
They can't do anything about it because it's open to the public.
I know.
I used to work right down the street. And when I worked down the street, there was an elevator that went from the garage into the store. Because it was a 24-hour store, like they would go into the garage and then like sleep in the elevators, like at night when there was like less activity. And you could tell when you got there in the morning
that somebody was in there. Yeah,
we've all dealt with that too, working in cities. And look, this is not to be like, fuck the homeless people. Like, there needs to be better programs to fix this. It shouldn't be them, like, overdosing in the bathrooms of the library where kids are being like, I want to know what Snow White is doing, right? Like, we've clearly hit a problem. We can't, like, sort
Let's
these
just send them all to California where their friends are.
Who are their friends?
I did see them do that on an episode of South Park.
That is
oh, okay, is that what you're going for? I was like, Fergus either has a political thing or a South Park thing. I don't know where he's going.
I just know there's a lot of homeless people there.
And again, this is the time of the podcast, too, where we, like, blindly, no politics go, just like, why would you be homeless in a cold place? Like, it breaks my heart.
I say that all the time, but you know why?
Every winter, homeless people.
The real reason why is there's so many tourists here that'll give them money.
I guess,
If like, you'd think, oh, just walk south, but everything's spread out. You're not seeing people. You're not panhandling. You're not making as much money. They make more than us, believe it or not. They just spend it on stupid shit.
I just feel so bad. I hear so many terrible stories of like people like their fucking propane heater in their tent caught their tent on fire and they died in their sleep. You know, and my brain really just like feels obviously terrible for them. But I'm like, go further away from the cold. Like, I live here on purpose and I fucking hate the cold, and I have a house. Like, I would do anything to get warmer. I would just walk down the fucking highway if I had to.
They actually do migrate. There's one that I talked to. It's always outside my work, and him and a bunch of them went down to South Carolina during the winter, and then they come back here when it warms up.
Why did they come back? That's. How did we start talking about homeless people?
Probably something Joe said. It's usually something Joe says.
That sounds right, yeah.
Have we talked about it on this show before about when Ferg accidentally gave a non-homeless person money?
This was legitimately the next thing I was going to say. I don't know if it's ever come up.
Classic, like, you were trying to do good, and maybe this is the reason why you don't do good anymore.
This was. I haven't been a good person since.
You know when you see clips like this is the origin of their villain story?
Yeah,
that was
his origin.
He should have been holding his cup out weird.
He was holding it out because he was gonna bring it to his mouth to take a sip soon.
He just dropped fucking quarters in this guy's coffee.
He was dirty and he was holding his cup straight out.
No, man,
this is literally like a whole chapter in the American Psycho book, by the way, where he puts coins into a non-homeless person's coffee cup and it becomes an issue.
Oh my god.
So at this point, to bring it back in, Shred's telling Frank, hey man, like, let me take the heat on all this Weasel stuff. He's like, that'd be dummy. He's like, well, we're partners. He's like, listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. My plan is to get rid of you. Like, I like working alone, so it's probably going to take me about 6 months, but then you'll be gone, and then I'm back to lone wolf time. Arrgh!
What a dick. Like, I know he's supposed to be, But like, there's being annoyed by your partner and then trying to openly get rid of him. And like,
It
that's his
it
job.
does teeter
like,
a little too
Yeah.
heavy on that line because Shred is such a. First off, I hate that I have to keep calling him Shred because it
Don't love
feels
that,
stupid.
yeah.
But he's
But he's
such
such
a
like a
genuinely
puppy,
nice
right?
guy.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing bad about him.
Yeah.
He's just like a goofy, lighthearted guy.
And that stuff does come
And-
into play later in the episode.
Yeah,
But
right.
when you see him being so, we talk about this before, right? When you need people to be redeemable. So like, even if they're like kind of like a dick, like you have to like something about
Yeah.
them. And as far as this, we get some late, but for the most part, Shred is the nicest dude in the world. And he's not just being like kind of mean or like standoffish towards him. Like he's actively being a complete prick to him the entire episode.
Yeah. It's weird too because he already stated that he likes someone he can manipulate, which is the boss. He can manipulate this really dumb kid easily and get him to do anything he wants for him. You'd think he'd like that.
I will say, as somebody who has like, sometimes it's like, hey, this person's gonna hop on your call with you, right? Like I do calls with customers all day long. You build a rapport with people, whether you know them or not, right? Like you just handle it on your own. It's a one-on-one thing, and life is so much easier than being like, also this person's with me randomly, and I gotta like train them or like watch them. I think that's his big issue, right? Like he can figure this shit out and be done with it and move on to the next thing really quickly.
Nah,
But
man,
now there's
even
a new person
Batman
asking
needs a
questions.
Robin.
Batman does not need a Robin.
Yeah, he does.
Look, I love Batman. He's my favorite superhero of all time. Robin is dead weight.
Oh, get a better superhero. Like Booster Gold.
Ferg, you know Booster Gold's my favorite. Can you stop claiming that as your own?
I mean, to be fair, my favorite superhero of all time is obviously Casper Jackson. Second is Batman. Third is Cobra Commander. But Robin is kind of a deadweight character.
Don't piss off the Dick Grayson fans.
So, well, I was going to say this. If you look at them as just Robin, right? Okay. But like Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. Nightwing's not bad. And then Jason Todd becomes the Red Hood, who's a badass.
Yeah,
and
those are
sorry.
fine.
And at this point, we've lost every female listener.
And again, this is no knock on Chris O'Donnell. He gets to ride the Batmobile while listening to The Offspring, and that's pretty fucking cool, right? Like, I can't be mad about that, but it would have been cooler if it was Damon Wayans in Batman Returns, probably? Was it Damon
no, it
Wayans?
was Marlon Wayne.
Marlon Wayans. Although I will say Marlon Wayans got the fucking best thing ever. They're like, we still have to pay you. Like, he still made like $1 million to not go to work. That's the fucking best job ever.
They did the 89 comics and he is Robin in that.
Marlon Wayans?
Well, the character looks like Marlon Wayans.
Oh. Sorry about the movie. We drew you into this comic book.
Batman 89 is... Oh, shit. Did we talk about they made a Batman 89 Golden Book? Like the kids' Golden Books now. They make the pop versions. So we have like a Garfield one, a Back to the Future one.
I think you told us about it off podcast,
Okay.
but not on podcast.
I don't remember at which point you told us, but...
It's my favorite thing ever. So there's like a department store here that like always has like a huge section of the Golden Book. So I always buy one that's like something from our childhood that we like to like read to my daughter. And I look over and there's a Batman one, and it's him on the parade float from the end of Batman 89 where he's poisoning an entire city. And I was like, oh, I have to see how they do this. And it's so funny where it's like the Joker is just giving everybody laughing gas. It's so fucking funny seeing the like dark, like he doesn't kill Bob. Like, is that scene? He's like, Bob, Bop, right? Like, he doesn't like actually kill him. Like, it's very funny to see them just like take that whole dark scene and just make it like a fun kid story. Like, and Batman took his balloons away, and he was really upset about that. So fucking funny.
So when Frank's howling, you get through the window, Emily kind of be like, hey, we talked about the howling thing. And he goes, oh, sorry, Emily. How's that espresso machine coming? She's like, oh, I already ordered it. He's like, you're the best. And he like whispers over to Shred, like, it's from Milan. So Shred's talking to Frank some more about like, hey, you know, like, I know deep down inside, like, you know, you have a chewy center. Like, you're not like, despite the crusty exterior. He's like, no. And he walks off and they're like, he's not that kind of guy. Like, what are you talking about? And that's when they give him a little bit of backstory and they're telling Shred about like, hey, like, Frank used to be a cop, but then he uncovered some corruption. And instead of cleaning it up, they fired him. He's like, whoa, that's heavy. I don't know if that is enough to be a reason that he hates everybody now, but
Yeah, it doesn't seem to hold enough water.
because it's
to-
almost like, oh,
yeah.
he's such a good guy that now he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? He doesn't hate the others there. He's got a good rapport with them. He just likes
This seems
to
like
work
the
alone.
classic scenario where like you've got somebody at your office who doesn't like you, but they respect you because you've been there for a while. So, like, you're fine. You know what I mean? Like, you always have those people who are like, ugh, they've been here since I was here. Like, doesn't matter if you like them. You like drink a beer with them at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. But, like, you don't necessarily, like them or, like, want to jock on them for anything good.
So I think this would be... It's unfortunate Gordo's not here, but a couple of you who, like, things Cucker related would probably... I even thought this scene was fun.
This is such a Gordo episode because there's a lot of poop stuff and there's a lot of animal stuff. Like, he missed one that... And the sad thing is he'll never watch it. So he won't even know what he's missing.
So Amit and Victoria are across from each other and they're talking at their desks when Amit's phone rings. And when he grabs it, it's the preschool that his son goes to. And it turns out, we find out that his son has a problem going number 2 sometimes. So now his dad is on the phone with him, talking him through it through song. So he starts singing the song that he must have to sing to him every time the kid has to shit. So what I liked about it, so he starts singing it, and it's a fun, like, it sounds like what would be a real children's song if you had to have one for these situations.
I related to this so much. Ferg, did you have one from, like, a book or anything that you always sang?
Not really. We had songs we always sang, but they were from, like, Disney stuff. And
we
like,
have one from
Yo
a book
Gabba Gabba.
I feel like the potty books, a lot of them now have, like, songs, and, like, you have to make up your own inflection for them because there's no music, so you're just like, I need to use the potty, I need to go right now, I listen to my body, I'm such a big kid, wow. So I have, like, all these things that are just, like, stuck in my fucking brain right now because, like, we're potty training. Also, if you have to fight for right to potty, which was, thank you, Look Who's Talking 2, really saved me on that one.
Poo-poo in the potty, poo-poo in the potty.
Yet, sadly for my daughter, she's never had her butt bitten by Mel Brooks, as I want
Give me
to
that
happen
pee-pee.
so badly.
I'll tell you where I truly relate. The eye roll when you get a phone call, you see it's the school. There is nothing worse. 'Cause you know it's going to be stupid. And you know it's going to be, oh, he has a fever 1 degree over, or he has the sniffles, or something like, you know your kid's fine. They call you for every little thing.
I feel like when we were kids, that wasn't a thing. I was like, my tummy hurts. Like, take an aspirin. Like, okay, see you later.
Sit in the nurse's office for a little while.
Yeah, sit on this weird padded bench for 10 minutes and then go back to school.
When he's singing the song, and then eventually, this has happened so much that everyone who works there also knows the song, and they all join in, and it's just like a group sing-along now
this
for
is so sweet.
Amit's kid's potty song. Yeah. Because even, like, Frank comes into the room and is singing the song with them.
This is the kind of thing that where, like, 20 years later, Amit's kid is a serial killer, and, like, he needs to hear the song to come. You know what I mean? Like, this is too many people doing a weird thing at one time, downloading into his brain at an early age, where, like, it may cause a problem later. It's like,
Why'd
everybody
you come?
clapped when I pooped if they sang the song. Now you'll clap when I sing the song.
I'll say that, like, fun moment. Kids obviously young, you know, so whatever at that age. When they're done with the song, and he just goes, wow, sounds like you had quite a bit. I'm proud of you. I was like, oh, when you said quite a bit, it made it gross. Even though we just listened to like a 2-minute song about having to go poo. Something about him telling them that there was a lot there made me go, ugh.
I will say, look, I'm Goo Goo Boy for life. I'm at a point now where if I hear like a good poop noise, I'm like, good job! You get so excited because you're like, you did it, buddy! You know, it's a weird
We're winning
thing,
you
so
over.
I get it.
You're
never gonna win me over. She hits 3. This is no longer cute anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there is a finite amount of time. But I think he's a great dad too, though, that he will at work sing this song and does it enough that the people know it. And they're sweet enough coworkers and friends that they're not doing it to fuck with them. They're doing it to help their friend's kid. I think this is like one of those moments in a show where I'm like, I love all these characters so much. This is like a very good like world building moment.
After they're done with the song is when the vet who works there walks in, and that's Dr. Summers. And she's like, hey, can someone help me get this mastiff on the table? Everybody offers to help because everybody there is into her. And then she looks over, she's like, hey, you're Shred, right? It's like, oh yeah, nice to meet you. Are you the hot vet? And then Matt was like, we say that behind her back. He's like, oh God, I'm sorry. If that came off as disrespectful, I'll retract and say you are no way hot. And then she's like, hey, I don't want to embarrass you, but I'm a huge Runner Sports fan, and I saw you on the X Games. So now, like, this girl that they've all been pining for instantly has this connection with the new guy. And she's asking him all about, like, the race. And he's saying, like, I've been watching it on replay lately because it's been on ESPN Classics. And every time I watch it, I think I'm going to not stick the landing. And then I do. And it kind of blows my mind all over again.
I hate that dialogue.
Me too.
That was the one
thing
time
I
I was
don't
like, he's not supposed to be this dumb.
It also makes me not like him because, like, I don't like that he watches himself. Like, to me, that's a villain character, right? Like, I watch my past amazing things. Like, I don't know, it's weird to me. People are like, whenever you hear an actor who's like, I watch all my movies whenever they're on TV, like, I think they're really great and I love how I look at them. You're like, oh, you're like a psychopath, right? Like, it's a crazy thing to do.
In his case, remember, he tore his ACL at the top of his game, so that's all he has is to go back and watch. I don't care that he watches his old stuff. It bothers me with his humble brag and thinking he's not going to make it, and it's like, that's the too dumb to function character I don't fucking like.
I'm more upset by the fact that, like, somebody would be like, I watch myself do stuff all the time. Like, to me, I'm like, that's the worst. Like, you have so many hours in this life only. Why would you watch things you did yourself when you could watch other things?
Also, it's kind of weird that would be on ESPN because he didn't win.
He does say it's like ESPN 2 or
Classics.
something, though. Classic, yeah.
They continue to talk a little bit, and eventually Shred goes and helps her with something so that the two of them walk off. And all of them are like, no way does he get to have this girl. Like, they've all been going after, including Victoria.
Yeah, this is when you first find out she's a lesbian.
See, it's funny because you brought it up earlier, and I was curious only because there's this line here, but it's not touched on at all in the episode, like, other than this moment. So I didn't know if that was just a one-off, like, everyone's so into the vet that even she wants her, or if that's, as you said, like, kind of how they're outing her in the show.
I can't remember if she's bi or a lesbian. I'm pretty sure she's just a lesbian. Oh, and we haven't mentioned she's Australian. She has a great accent.
New Zealand.
There is something about
Potato,
a girl with an
potato.
Australian accent that just gets
Don't
me.
say potato. Our New Zealand and Australian fans will not be happy with that. New Zealand and Australia are two very separate countries. They get mad
Well,
about
fly
that.
to America and do something about it.
That's like Sweden, Swedish, Denmark, Danish rather. They get mad about that shit too. Or anybody an American at this point was like, "Oh, are you American?" Like, I'm Canadian. How fucking dare you?
They are American. It's North America.
They're all talking about that situation a little bit and how they've been waiting forever. And, like, there's a point where Victoria walks off and she needs to, like, use the bathroom. So she goes up to Dolores and asks for the key. And she tells her, like, you gotta put your name and the time down on the sheet. She writes something down and, like, walks away, and she has, like, a bit of a smirk on her face. And then as you get the perspective of her, like, walking away, but, like, she's walking towards us, you just hear Dolores at the desk go, Connie Lingus, real mature.
Definitely
I
laughed.
started laughing thinking about it. Boy, you said it.
I love the idea though. Like, think of how many times you pee at work a day, times 1 week, times 52 weeks a year. How many opportunities you have to make a funny name. Like, that would ruin me at my job. I'd get fired because my whole work would be thinking of every day how many funny names I could think of.
Suck once you run out of good ones.
It sucks to just be like, you are a cunt. Like, why? It's like, sorry, look, I just realized to pee today. I'm sorry. I just can't do, I don't have the best.
We get to the next scene and we have Frank and Shred, like, back out on the road again. And Frank's saying, you know what Mark Twain said? Shred's like, I'm not 100% sure I know who Mark Twain is.
That broke me a little. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, I don't know if I like this character. Is that a thing now? Do kids not know who Mark fucking Twain is?
I mean,
We're probably pretty close. Too bad we don't have resident kid Gordo here to tell us.
I was gonna say, child Gordo.
I feel like we were on, like, the line, like, we were probably one of the last people to...
I'm gonna Google it.
But I feel like that's supposed to be like it wasn't like the guy just died when we were in school. Like,
Right, like it was still a 100-year-old
generational.
author
Yeah.
who were kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember talking about him and, like, Huckleberry Finn and stuff like that as, like, being super young, but then, like, never again. So...
And then the skibbity toilet said, it's like, that's what school's
didn't he
gonna be
kind of
like.
get canceled too?
Well, I mean,
Like,
the whole...
for just, like, how racist some
There's
of,
a lot of
like,
N-words in a few of those
Yeah.
books, yeah.
But
I
it's
think
the
that might have-
South. I mean, it's a different time in the South.
No, I mean, if you look at that book and you say, like, that character is, like, N-word Jim, right? Like, that is a writing of that time. And the
Yeah.
character is a non-racist. That's just, like, what he's, unfortunately, like, knows that person as they become friends. But I definitely can see now being like, it's easier to just not teach that than it is to teach that.
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
then
like
explain.
if you teach about Mark Twain, like who was like historically against slavery, like then doesn't it kind of come out in the wash? Like,
I agree. I just think that maybe people are just like, it's too much work now, right? To be like, we have to like go into a whole thing here, you know, where it's
Yeah.
easier just to be like gloss over like slavery bad, Lincoln shot.
Yeah, but this was like, we covered buddies a few weeks ago, and it was like a black friend and a white friend. Yeah, this was that before buddies.
I would like to ask though, and there's no way in hell we have anybody who's young listening to our podcast, right? There's no teenagers who are like, I love this. I want to listen to like 80s fucking sitcom podcast. But, you know, carpetbaggers and all the stuff that was part of that like pre or post rather Civil War South that like deals with the racism and the politics of that time. Like, I would love to know how much of that's still being taught. Or if it's just like, look it up yourself. You have the access now. It's a weird thing.
So
where, like, it's hard to tell.
Googled it while we were talking, and it got mixed answers. It's like it said it's still taught in schools, but because it's controversial, it's considered optional. And blah blah blah.
But they still teach the chocolate war. They just avoid the part where Emil sees the kid masturbating in the stall, right?
Well, with that in mind, Frank's saying, you know, the whole point of the conversation is, he tells him the story. It's like how like if you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. And that's the principal difference between a dog and a man. And Shred saying, is this about the hot vet? Yeah, of course it's about the hot vet. I've been laying groundwork for years. You know how many vaccine clinics I volunteered for? A lot of vaccine clinics. And
He's so aloof. How did he pick up on that? Because I didn't pick up on it.
Also, it doesn't, like, to go into his character, it does not make sense for how aloof he is and how, like, I don't give a shit he is, that he would spend years laying groundwork to try to sleep with one person. Like, that doesn't make sense to me in that dude's character.
yeah.
Well, it's not one person. He already says he has claims on other people. In the...
Sure.
And the thing,
but it's a
and what
long,
we find,
play.
and what we find out too is Shred's not even interested. He's like, oh, I'm taken. Like, I have a girlfriend. She's a snowboarder. She's from Spain.
Yeah.
And she's the worst. Sorry, that's me getting
Well, we
it.
don't know that. So we find out none of that now, but he's saying, and if you asked me any questions, you would have known that.
And this is fair too, right? Like, he makes it a point to not try to even...
Yeah,
know
like
this
he
dude.
already like resents him because the hot vet likes him, but in reality, like he's not putting anything out there for her. And even if like she came on to him, like he's straight up like, you know, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's like, he honors that. And he says, and if I was ever going to dip my toe in the work pool, it wouldn't be with the hot vet. And that's when, you know, Frank tells him like, well, I have dibs on Victoria as well. It's like, no, Emily, the boss lady. She's so clumsy and uncomfortable in her own body. Like, I just dig an awkward chick.
That's so fucking weird, but I also kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like,
I get it.
It's strange. Yeah.
I am attracted to like someone who like feels like a real person. You know what I mean? Like when people,
You don't like
you
the
have,
stuffed
like,
animal
the-
feeling, girls?
no,
Butt
but
beans.
but like, you know, like there's a point where like people are almost too hot, you know?
Yeah, there's a line. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I understand. You're saying, like, real people are attractive for their real reasons, not...
So I don't
just-
want to get
yeah.
into like, a few of us are talking about, someone recently and the girl is so like, she's objectively incredibly attractive, but she's so attractive that like almost nothing sticks out about her versus other girls. Cause like they just have that same look. It's like when you're too perfect, you don't have any like things to differentiate yourself that make you special. And I remember a friend of ours who I won't name we were at a gentleman's club many years ago. And there was a girl that could not walk in her heels, and he was so attracted to that because she kept falling. and it reminded me of that when he said that. And then after they talk for a minute, the radio goes off, and it's they're calling for their truck because a neighbor complained on a licensed ostrich farm. At this point, Nick, did you pick this deliberately to upset me?
Once all the ostriches started chasing him, I was like, Jay's gonna have a field day with this one.
I don't have a fear of ostriches. Like it's not
No,
like that.
Yeah, you do.
But they make me uneasy. But like I don't have like
That's
nightmares
a fear
about
of them.
Any big birds though, like one of the farms.
Not Big Bird.
Not Big Bird, no. He has a giant nest that gets painted blue and it's very sad. But there's a farm here we go to that has like emus. And I think they're the most beautiful, majestic, terrifying creatures in the world. You look at their feet and you're like, they could fucking kill you.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs.
One swipe. Yeah,
they are. They're dinosaurs. They're just like one of those creatures that you're like, you shouldn't be here, but you're here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But ostriches, I feel like, are the funny version of that. Look, if I was to say what's the thing that made you greenlight or cancel this show, and I'm not going to say which one it is when you see the ostrich turn to camera with a Slim Jim in its mouth. Like, that is that is the 50-50 moment where you're like, you either love this show or you don't, right? Like, that's where we're at.
We get a quick cut. Emily walking up to someone's door with some muffins, and when she knocks on the door, it opens up, and it turns out that it's the couple that they set the living room on fire. The guy, his eyes like all bandaged up, so it like distracts her for a bit. So she's going over there as like a peace offering. Basically, please don't sue us. Here's some muffins.
Made me really want muffins this episode.
Yeah, right?
And
I don't mind muffins. Like, I'll eat a muffin, but I'm never like craving a muffin.
I used to eat so many muffins. Like, it was just like, before I realized really how much money I was spending every single day on stuff I could just eat at home, I was going to my local bookstore down, like, you know, the center of town, and they have these lemon poppy seed muffins there. And they do this thing where if you ask for it toasted, nobody else does this that I've ever seen.
Toasting muffins?
No. The way they toast and butter them, instead of just cutting the muffin in half, they slice it twice. So you get 3 sections. It's like the bottom, the middle, and the top of the muffin. And they butter all of it. So like you get butter on like every part of the muffin instead of just like 2 big halves.
They found a way to make it even unhealthier than
exactly.
normal.
Oh yeah. But oh my god, I ate so many of those fucking muffins. I haven't had one in a long time, and this episode made me really reminisce on my muffin history.
I don't have as deep rooted of a muffin love. I will say that our local marketplace actually has some nice muffins, but I don't know.
Oh, Trader Joe's has great muffins, and they're gluten-free, Joe.
Look, I used to love muffins, and then I got allergic to blueberries too, and now I'm just, But also,
and Joe, just out of curiosity, muffin spelled backwards is what?
It's a sniff 'em, just so you know. Have we covered? We didn't cover that, did we? We did it.
Was that
like
Ned and Stacy?
We're at 261 episodes. We've definitely covered it.
We haven't done Ned and Stacy yet, no.
Okay, we haven't. That's the hard thing now. Again, thank you, Ferg. 260 episodes. I'm like, did we actually ever do Ned and Stacy? Should we do Ned and Stacy?
I'm good enough that if you mention the show, I can tell you whether or not we did it, but I'm past the point of being able to list all the shows.
There are shows I could say, yeah, we definitely did that, but there are plenty of shows I think at this point where I'd be like, I don't know, did we?
I feel like if it's a show I've never seen before, I'll know, but if it's a show I've seen even in passing, I get the weird, like, did I watch it for the show?
I mean, even when we're picking shows, like, to do for the podcast, like, I have to open Spotify and check most of them because I can't remember if we've done them already.
We're pretty deep in there at this point.
Yeah.
What's nice is we have enough notoriety that if you search the show and put S1E1,
it
we
pops
come up first.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're now, like, broken into the nightmare that is AI. Like, you can AI what we are and it knows who we are and it's like, J4 Gordon, like, Jesus Christ.
We've just forced our way into the algorithm by sheer quantity.
Yeah.
We now have Ahmed and Victoria walking into a house where we see a cop standing over what, like, clearly looks like a corpse with a blanket over it on the floor, but, like, next to the body is a dog that's just standing there.
It's sad.
The dog is
broke
alive.
my heart.
Yes.
Broke my fucking heart, yeah.
And the cop that goes, hey, officers on the scene with loaded sausages.
This is so stupid, but it made me laugh.
So he tells him that he's been waiting for the coroner. The guy apparently has been dead for 3 days and nobody knew about it. But this whole time, the dog's never left his side.
This reminded me of the dog in Futurama when Fry's dog waits for him all that time.
Don't bring
like
that up.
It's
the saddest thing in TV history.
With all the moon stuff lately, I was thinking about, like, Laika, the dog that the Russians shot in space, whose, like, bones are still floating around in orbit. Like, poor Laika.
Victoria says, like, we'll find this dog a good home. cop walks out of the room, and the two of them are talking about like 3 days. Can you imagine? Like 3 days without anybody knowing where I am? Like I'd kill for that. And then after that, they cut to the shot of the dog laying over the body looking sad. It just broke my heart in half.
Heartbreaking.
I will say though, great dog acting. Like Marlon fucking Doggo over here. Like lay over his corpse and look sad and go.
And then later we cut back to Frank and Shred who are at the ostrich farm. There's a point where Frank says, hold on, Shred, your shirt's untucked. He's making it look like he's trying to help him out, but while he's doing that, he slides the Slim Jim in his pocket before they go up to these animals.
You can't tell. Was it a Slim Jim or like a meat stick brand or whatever? Like, there's so many.
I think it's probably,
was
they're
a
never
Slim
going to say by name
I'm not
that
sure,
it is essentially a Slim Jim.
To me, if I was an ostrich, I would go for the Slim Jim. I would not go for like Greg's beef stick. There's something so fucking potent about a Slim Jim. And it's one of the real good ones too, like the 12-inch ones, like the real long ones you can really eat it. I miss Slim Jim so much. It's been like 10 years. It's so bad.
It's funny because I was thinking about this earlier before I watched the show. I don't remember why my brain went this way. When you talk about Slim Jim versus like your standard beef stick, beef jerky, whatever, I haven't had a Slim Jim in a long time, but I've come to realize that Slim Jim just tastes like pepperoni more than it does any other meat. Like that's the thing. It's seasoned in a way and greasy that it's...
Which is strange because it's mainly chicken.
But it tastes more like pepperoni than it does like your average jerky or whatever.
It's just because of like the way it's preserved.
Yeah,
like,
which is why a Slim Jim
amazing.
though, and a slice of those like single Cabot cheeses, those cheddars make the most sense ever. Like the best combo ever.
Love me some beef jerky. I don't do Slim Jims.
When I was a kid, I liked Slim Jims, but yeah, now I'm like, I'll eat beef jerky any day. But Slim Jim, I have not had one since I was a kid, and they kind of like skeeve me with like there's like fake, and then there's like Slim Jim level fake when it comes to foods, and it's just too much for me.
It's so fake and it's so like dehydrated and weirdly like pruny,
Slimy.
It looks like when the mummy takes his mask off in the movie, right? Like that's what the skin texture looks like of a Slim Jim. But as a kid, it was like my parents, like, again, there's a lot of things to unpack later on in my life. It was like Slim Jims were in like my Christmas stocking, right? Like I love Slim Jims as a kid so much. So it's sad. I try every fucking new, like my wife would be like, I found this new one. It's the same size as a Slim Jim. It's gluten-free. Do you want to try it? I'd be like, okay. I take one bite and just go like, doesn't taste like garbage like I want it to. Like no one has ever made whatever, like they've got their own like Coca-Cola thing, right? Like there's like clearly a KFC spices level of like Slim Jim's taste is very specific.
What in a
no
Slim
one's
Jim
cracked
can't
that.
you eat?
There's wheat and all of them to like be like a filler.
Okay.
Also, I found it today after playing with it for like 2 hours the other day. So like we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Your dick is
Play-Doh.
gluten-free?
Play-Doh covered in wheat.
What?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What's covered in wheat?
Play-Doh. It's part of the like thickening process. So, like yesterday, I was just like, let's build a castle with Play-Doh, and then I was like, I'll eat some cheese. It's like so, like I'm like at a ticking clock of like when tomorrow I'm like I can't go to work calls.
Dead covered in Play-Doh.
But like again,
And a
this shit
pile
drives
of
me
shit.
insane because if somebody was like, you're gonna die because of eating wheat, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna call fucking a pizza shop. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like I played with Play-Doh and then ate a peanut. Like that's not the fucking way to kill me. Jay,
They make
wake up.
gluten-free Play-Doh.
They do, and it's really expensive. So I'm not doing it. We were talking about it today. I was like, fuck it. We're not buying it. I'll just like wash my
You
hands.
can make your own. You can get all the ingredients and make it.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah, I think when you make it on your own, though, the reason that people don't do it is because it dries out super quick, and like whatever wheat they're putting into it is what makes it stay like forever, you know?
Yeah.
So now they like walk up to the actual farm because it was in the distance, and they're at the gate of it now. And the girl who apparently owns it, it's like, did my stupid neighbor call you? And they're like, well, what's going on? Are you making belts or selling their meat? She's like, I sell the eggs at a farmer's market. It's like, well, you need a license for that because of the zoning commission.
That'd be awesome.
Buying
You go to
ostrich
farm-
eggs?
You go to a farmer's market and there's someone just selling ostrich eggs?
They are much larger. So while Frank's talking to her about all this stuff, you have Shred off in the distance, and it's like, hey, these guys really like me. Should I be concerned? It's like, well, that's up to you. They are violent and strong and have famously bad temperament. And then they start chasing him, And I'm like, this is my fucking nightmare. Like,
This is a lot, yeah.
he's full
I literally
sprint.
laughed thinking about it happening to Jay.
He's in full sprint as he's this pack of ostrich. I don't know what the plural for ostrich is, but
Ostry.
is it?
No,
I think it's just
I think it's
ostriches.
just yeah. I think it's
There's
just
ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all chasing him though, like everywhere. He's in full sprint, and like they just will not leave him alone.
He would not get away from them. They are fast.
Yeah, no, nobody. They have long, lean legs.
Can't they? Aren't they like the third fastest thing on Earth? How?
Yeah, because they're fucking
fast
dinosaurs.
is-
They just run.
I remember
Us.
the video of one like chasing after like a truck. It was like an open like pickup truck with people in the cab. I'm like, this is terrifying.
Oh, they can hit 60 miles an hour. They're typically around between in like the mid 40s, but some of them, depending on where they are, can hit 60. That's fucking crazy. A cheetah, like the fastest land mammal, is 70, I think.
And a
this
human
bird
is like
just-
20 if they're in good shape.
I think even 20 is reaching.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. Humans.
You'd have to have a good lead on a fucking ostrich.
Eat that, Carl Lewis.
I like that when he's being chased by all the ostriches. There's a point where Frank takes his phone out and starts recording, and even shows the woman who like owns the place, even though he already just told her
Yeah.
that he's going to give her a citation. But he's still like, hey, check this out.
This also speaks, I think, to like the weird thing we were talking about earlier, where like in Seattle, they're like real cops, where like they have to know like statutes and things, where like they can give real tickets that are like actionable tickets. You know what I mean? Like, I think we think about like the animal patrol here, where it's like there was a raccoon, like they can get it, but like here they're like real cops. They can like go to places like this and like give you tickets and shut down your ostrich farm.
Well, they have to. That's how they pay for the panini machine.
Yeah.
And the espresso maker, and what were they getting at the end?
The espresso maker was what they got at the end, right?
The wine cooler,
Yeah.
wine.
Oh,
That's
he
what
talks
he
about
said,
the wine
wine
fridge. Yeah.
We're back at like the weasel victim house, and Emily's sitting there with the couple. They're like boasting about how great the muffins are. She's like, you know what? They're healthy too. So like, everyone in the office has some kind of an allergy, so I never bake with anything fun. So the continue kind of rolls that like you have Emily trying to skirt around it, but she's just basically there to make sure that these people aren't going to sue. And there's a point in the conversation where they flat out say like, oh, like we're not going to make this like a big legal thing. And Emily's like, oh, you have my word. Like the city will pay for everything. And if you excuse me, I just have to let someone know. And then that's when you cut to Templeton. He's sitting in the truck and getting these texts. And it says, and you can hear there's like a voice to text option, or so like the phone's reading the text out loud for her. And you just hear, Emily said they're not going to sue, and sent a pile of poop emoji and a middle finger emoji.
See, she's the best.
When I'm not a iPhone person, so when you like send like a poop emoji to someone and it reads a text, does it say like
It does.
Yeah, if you have like an earbud in, it'll read the text to you, and it always catches me off guard.
and then we cut back again. You have Emily talking to the couple. She's like, oh, I don't want to take any more of your time up. Like, thank you guys. And she's like, you didn't use sesame oil in these, did you? It's like, you know what? I did. I find it just gives it the little tang. And that's near like the, oh God, get the EpiPen. It's like, what's happening? He's like, you have to call 911 right now.
I feel like if you have that deadly of a reaction, you should check with everything.
Yeah, maybe ask before you start gumming it down. Like, what the hell?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you think it would have naturally come up like when the conversation was had, like, oh, I don't put anything fun in these because so many people have allergies.
Yeah.
And that's when a logical person would be like, oh my God, that reminds me. Do you have any of this in the burrito? Because I'm allergic to that. But after that, we cut back to Shred, who's now in a tree surrounded by ostriches, which is my nightmare.
Jay also hates trees.
Yeah.
The whopping willow terrifies him.
Shred's like just trying to like, guys, knock it off. And he's like trying to hide. We have Frank at the bottom like, oh, it must be something like on your clothes, like your scent or something. He's like, take your shirt off. And he like takes the shirt off and like throws it down. And he's like, it's got to be the pants then, right? So now the kid's like, all right. And he starts taking his pants off. Only when he throws his pants after he removes them, like all the birds like go over to the pants because there was a hidden meat stick in there the whole time.
Oh, the old hidden meat stick.
I wonder if ostriches would eat that.
Yeah, I think
I
they would.
have no idea what ostriches eat.
I've had
They-
what do they eat? I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Thought I brought it up before. Like I've ate ostrich, but I don't know what they. I think they might be herbivores.
No, I think they're omnivorous. Ostrich. Yes, ostriches are omnivores. While their diet is primarily plant-based, consisting of roots, leaves, seeds, and fruits, they also consume insects, lizards, snakes, and small rodents. Their feeding habits are opportunistic, allowing to eat whatever is available in their habitat. So, Jay, if you're in their habitat and available, you're on the menu.
No, I'm not. I'm not habitat swapping.
I feel like you could take an ostrich in a fight. Like break their
I don't know if I
skinny neck.
could. They're big and they're powerful.
I
Just
know
don't
you
get-
couldn't.
Just don't get kicked.
They have like razor talons. Jay would bleed out 13 seconds into that fight.
So now that it's noted that because when the pants come off and they all go for the pants, it's exposed that there's like a Slim Jim in the pocket. Now Shred for the first time is like kind of losing his cool. He's like, "Is that your beef stick?" It's like, in my defense, I didn't think it was going to work that well. It's like, uncool, bro. Really? And I'm sorry to raise my voice right now, but I'm pretty high up in this tree and you crossed the line, brother. That could have taken my penis, Frank.
Hey, it's a legitimate concern.
Like his response, but it didn't, and that's why it's funny.
Here's a question, and not to get too in the weeds on this. I know we've talked about underwear before, but like, do any of you wear like classic boxer shorts?
No.
That
No.
feels like a thing
Boxer
that like
briefs.
nobody wears anymore. You know what I mean? Like you see somebody in that, you're just like, it's almost like a WC Fields, like, oh, my underwear, buddy. Like it's such an old.
Do you know why? Do you know why you see that more common on TV?
Less
Less
junk
dick.
showing?
Well, no, it's because they always wear like a tighter, snug underwear underneath them, and that would be like more visible with a tighter brief. You know what I mean? You'd be able to see it. So with like a looser, bigger boxer, like traditional boxer, they can wear like a smaller underwear underneath, and you won't be able to see it.
I would love that if I was an actor in some big movie, be like, yeah, I wear that to like hide my big dick. It's like such a fucking lie. You know? The camera adds 5 inches, you know.
So then there's this point now where now that Shred's like all worked up, he's like yelling down at Frank. He's like, dude, I know that the police department screwed you over and people let you down, but to learn nothing from that except to be a jerk just makes you a douche, dude.
Agreed.
I liked this. Like, I just liked how, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Just how blunt he, like, just, it's out of character for him to be like this, Shred. In his own way, he told Frank that he was a dickhead, and I liked that.
And it works. I like that it works. Like, it'd be weird if, like, later on he was like, that fucking shithead. I saw him almost get eaten by an ostrich. But he, like, actually does change his character to it. I like, too, though, like, this is such a fucking modern thing and very much a me thing. But, like, oh, he was one of the good cops. So they kicked him off the force because he was trying to stop corruption. Immediately makes me like him more, too. Because you're like, I don't know, cops make me so fucking uncomfortable.
And I like this scene, like he finally stands up for himself. He's like, I taken all I can stands and I can't stands no more. But I wish this had more of an effect. I wish this was what had the effect on
I think it contributed.
Frank.
It definitely contributed.
I think it maybe should have happened, though, in front of more people.
Yeah.
In the crew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because, like, it's just them, and, like, I do agree it makes a relationship for them. But then at the end of the episode, it's like together.
You have him get mad, but not say that stuff. Be quiet in the car. And then him showing everybody the video at the precinct and them all laughing. And that's when he snaps and says all that in front of everyone.
To get everybody's respect. Because now he just has Joel McHale's respect quietly.
Yeah.
Right. He has to go into the office later. And that's why he requests the transfer, you know?
I mean, that's kind of the other thing about this character, though. He's not someone who would necessarily care about getting other people's respect. He's just kind of like just like goofy, aloof, whatever guy, and like he's not, vying for other people's attention and approval. So it's just kind of whatever for him.
One thing too we haven't touched on that I love so much about Shred's character is that like this feels like a modern thing that happens where like all of us I think grew up being like it'd be great if our dreams happened, but like they won't. So like we'll figure out our jobs and we'll like have lives and like that's whatever. I feel like now that's much harder for people to just like, I'm going to be a TikToker. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be a fucking YouTuber. Like this dude was like a snowboarding champion, right? And like that falls apart and then you get a job. And it's not a bad job. It's like a fucking decent job and that's your life.
Right.
And this shows that like that's a path that like you should take, you know?
When Shred's still like yelling down at Frank, he's giving him more too. Like, not only is it like the obvious, but he's also telling him a little bit about himself now. He's like, dude, I blew out my knees 3 months before the Olympics. Like, but I didn't let that make me hate the world. Like, we all have a choice in life, and I chose to stay positive.
Which is something I cannot relate to.
It's something that I'm trying to be way better. Like, as I've gotten older,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
more
something you try
cognizant
to.
of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're more conscious of trying to do that. It's hard though, man. Like when you're not that, and I'm not. Like I've always been a pessimistic type of person for some reason, for one reason or another. And so like when you try to not be, it's like a physical. Like it's tough. Like it's really hard.
Just embrace the pessimism.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta.
I mean, sometimes you have to. And then like years of therapy, you figure it out. But
The glass is half empty, Joe.
Look, the glass is always half empty. But you wake up every morning and you go, the sun's shining. We're okay. We're okay.
We haven't even had the sun lately. Today we did.
There was snow on my fucking lawn this morning. That was hard to deal with.
And also, like, in the conversation, like, because he finally got into Shred's head, he's like, oh, and I think you'll be happy to know I'm actually feeling pretty negative right now, Frank. And you cut over and Frank, like, looks at the girl. He's like, oh, by the way, it's going to be $600. It's like, can I pay you in eggs? No. And it just,
my favorite line of the whole episode, by the way. Can I pay you in eggs? She's so genuine. Also,
it's so nonchalant.
How many ostrich eggs are $600 worth? I don't know.
Well, if this was like 6 months ago.
That could be one egg now.
Yeah. We live in a timeline now where like egg prices dictate. It's a fucking water world where it's like, well, what did eggs cost yesterday? Like that was the thing they talked about in the news for like 6 fucking months.
They go between $30 and $60.
An egg?
Yeah.
Or a dozen?
Well, they're giant
Wow.
eggs. Yeah, they're not small. So,
of
regardless of that, we flash forward a little bit and we have Frank and Shred heading back into Emily's office. And when they do, Shred officially asks for a transfer. Emily's saying, like, are you sure? Like, you'd have to go back to Central and Templeton has the only free truck. It's like, yep. And then Frank exits that office while this conversation is going on. And when he closes the door, Victoria's like standing nearby and heard everything. She's like, Templeton, like, you do that to Shred? It's like, he's fine. He'll be happy with literally anybody, which is a trait that's very challenging for me.
I do like that she gives him a little pushback. Like someone in the office finally stood up to him, other than Shred.
I just now thought that like the saddest part of this job is that like everything they're showing isn't like your day to day. The most day to day is like a puppy got run over. Can you go scrape it off the ground?
Oh.
It's like a not good job.
Why?
But
Yeah.
I want to make Nick mad at me twice on one episode.
So while she's kind of being real with
Success.
him, he tries to get out of it by just being like, hey, can I interest you in a chicken pesto panini? I want to say no, but yeah, your heart is black, but you make a really good sandwich.
To be fair, a lot of free dog meat.
And then Ahmed sees them like walking off. He's like, are you guys making sandwiches? And like falls out of his chair.
He's great. I really like him.
He's so fucking. He's one of those dudes who like he's never not funny.
Yeah.
And then there's like a cut from here where it's like later at night and you see Emily alone in her office. It's like dark. You can tell the whole building's pretty much abandoned at this point. And she hears a noise. It's like, who's there? And it's Shred. He forgot his coat. She's like, hey, I'm sorry, how everything ended up working out. Like, I love Frank, but sometimes he can just be a little too much. Like, it's like, yeah, I really thought I was going to be able to crack him. They have like a little moment because he's talking about his like snowboarding thing, but then she drops all her papers. And like
the dropping of the papers was so forced.
It's
like,
the
you
most
already know she's
rom-com
awkward and
move,
clumsy.
yeah.
Like, you don't have to really jam that in. We get
Well,
her character.
My
by
hands
now.
don't work.
I'll tell you though, when they did that, I was like, oh shit, they're about to kiss, and they don't kiss. So it was so obvious that it misdirected me into like it not being what was the first thing in my head. I also like that when she dropped it, She's like, oh, sorry, I can be a little clumsy. He's like, I know, because like he has a thing for clumsiness.
I know, I got a raging boner now.
I know. I didn't even realize that until right now. That the I know was like
He's like,
call
my
back
fetish.
to that.
My fetish has triggered me. Yeah.
As they're talking a little bit more, because they're definitely like connecting here. She's like, since you're transferring, I'm not going to be your boss. So like we really wouldn't be. And then while she's like basically putting herself out there and before she could like really say it, his phone rings. He's like, oh, sorry, that's my girlfriend. It's like, I should really get that. She's like, oh my God. Yeah, totally. And he like walks off and gets the phone.
Yeah, this was given the signal that she's also into him, where they told earlier that he's into her because of her clumsiness, but
Right.
the girlfriend exists, so it ain't happening anytime soon.
I don't know if it was the mood lighting or whatever, but like I legit viewed her so different in this scene than when I first met her, like when she brought the muffins out. And then from that scene, we're getting, it's like a closeout of the episode. So we're kind of getting everybody at home and we're just kind of going from person to person here. So now we're at Victoria's house and she's home and she has Charlie by her side. That was the dog that they found with the corpse earlier in the day.
It's a cute dog though.
She's like, do you like your new home? Like, and the phone rings and she's like, hang on. She goes to like pick it up and we see the phone and she's texting. She gets a message from someone basically telling her like, come meet up at some bar that the person's at. And she like replies to the text with like, oh, I can't, like the dog's not ready to be alone yet.
I thought this was nice. I'm like, oh, good character growth. And then the next
Yeah.
scene, it's like,
I know, like,
that.
yeah, I know we're going to
Never
follow through in a
mind,
minute, but
yeah.
like, yeah, it didn't end up the way I thought it was going to end up. But the next person we actually see is Frank, where at his house, and he's pouring himself some wine, and he's singing that poop song as he's like, like walking over and sitting on his couch. He starts flicking channels, and that's when he lands on ESPN Classic, which is actually airing like an old clip of Shred. And like, he's watching it, and I don't know why, but like, there was like, for some reason, watching him actually snowboard is what like turned him around on him, and not the fact that he's just a good human being.
No, it was the fact that he lost.
Oh,
He needed
the
a
way
few
he
pints.
celebrated,
He lost
yeah.
and he was still positive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
because
announcer is like, I've never
Yeah,
seen him lose so well before.
Because he placed fourth.
Right, yes, he's not even bronze, but he hugs the guys. He's like, good job, we all fucking did it. Again, I love that, where it's like, look, if you're in a position where you can do something like that, I would be so stoked to be 10th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love the idea of being like, I'm happy I'm here, versus being like, so fucking crusty you lost.
He sees that, and it's maybe starting to endear him, and he's realizing that he's like letting a good kid leave. We cut to Victoria again, only she's outside now ringing on someone's doorbell. Turns out that it's Amit's house. As soon as he opens up, it's like, I'm not ready for a dog. I need you to take Charlie. He's like, no, I already have 2 dogs. And like, as soon as he says that, like his kids run up and see the dog and like instantly fall in love with him.
And we found out earlier that Amit has, 2 dogs already?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's 2 dogs, and I think
One of which is incontinent.
Yeah, 2 dogs, 2 kids. So yeah, 1 dog has a poop problem.
One kid has a poop problem too.
Also true, yeah.
I don't feel bad for this dog. His owner just died. He got a new owner, and the new owner passed him off to another owner. Now it's like, it's not
A bit of
fair.
whiplash for this poor puppy, yeah. I always think of that stuff too, where it's like, you think your animals love you so much, but if you die and someone takes them, they're like, oh, this person gives me food now. Like, it's just like, they don't think about you ever.
I
fucking
love you, new
again.
daddy.
Oh, thank you for my treats. Oh, Slim Jims.
he's saying like how he can't take the dog. His kids are like going by the hallway area and notice the dog, and now they run up and instantly fall in love with him. Victoria's like, oh, do you love the dog? Do you guys want him? You can keep him. And it's like, hey, first off, this is like your partner that you work with every day, and this is like a super dick thing to do if he truly doesn't want like these animals in the house.
She also gives him a plant.
Yeah, the plant is
Can't
what I
take
think
care
is
of.
the real kick in the dick.
I'd love that. Plants are expensive. So are dogs.
Look, I will say, as somebody who is not a plant person, but is married to a plant person, plants are expensive. Plants aren't expensive. The fucking rock things they're built into usually are the most expensive. Where you're like, I like this thing. Like, that's like $4, right? But like 44. But like, why? It's like, well, somebody made this planter for it. You're like, we could just put it in the ground though, right? Like, why is this so expensive? I've also built 2 fucking giant outdoor, what do you call them, garden beds in the past year. Jay, I think you messed with me. Like, there's a video of like, that my wife posted of like, I'm playing with my daughter, And in the background, you see me sadly shoveling dirt because we got 2 giant pens and like the most amazing, like just like I wasn't aware of this. I didn't know a video was happening. I'm just depressed shoveling dirt in the background.
So during this back and forth where he doesn't want the dogs, it looks like because of the kids, it's absolutely going to happen. Next scene is like the following day. Shred's about to go to work and obviously he needs a ride. His ride ends up being, it was supposed to be Templeton in his mind. The thing is, like, Frank picks up and doesn't like acknowledge like anything that happened. Basically, he's like just kind of starts with a joke. He's like, "Hey, some dopey looking guys calling for an Uber."
Yeah, he gets to stay cool without saying sorry.
But Shred's very like, I always knew this was gonna happen. I knew you were gonna like come in, like get me this way. Like
He's zen, brah.
he's like, no, he's like, you didn't know I was gonna do that. He's like, oh yeah, then how come I got us coffees? And like pulls 2 coffees out of his bag.
Now,
Like,
I don't know if he actually did know or if, like, because Frank says, no, you're just kissing ass to the next person. And I don't know which is the case. Like, did he learn from his lessons that he told him so he got coffee for the next person? Or did he know Frank was going to pick him up because he got through to him?
Also, how long did he have those coffees? Because that's a ticking clock. You're like, is that coffee warm?
They were in a thermal bag.
Oh, was it? Okay. I noticed
Yeah.
that.
Like
Frank, by the way, like the coffee thing didn't necessarily convince him. He's like, how do I know you weren't going to use that to brown nose Templeton?
I think
He's
he
like,
was.
whatever you need to tell yourself, Frank, but I always knew you were a pack animal. And then Templeton pulls up like behind him. You didn't tell him you were picking me up? He's like, nah, it was a game time decision. And he goes, how do you feel about mooning him? I say, very good. But this will be 2 days in a row that you've negotiated my pants off.
Fair comment.
Yeah.
And then you cut to like Templeton inside the car and like you have the, the perspective out the window from inside. And you just see like the thing roll by, but they censored his butt.
Fox, though,
But,
all the channels back in the day would have shown the butt.
But yeah, so you get that. So they're starting to bond a little bit, through things like that.
I do love, too, like, slowly backing up to moon somebody, because usually mooning is a fast scenario. You're like, hey, look at me, and you drive away quick. They just, like, very slowly beep back up.
I've said it a million times too. One of the hardest I've ever laughed at a movie theater was watching Dirty Work.
Oh, yeah.
When he just stops in the line and Artie Lang's ass out.
He's
the car stops.
The, like, 3-disc expanded edition of Dirty Work that came out this year, by the way, is worth it for all the deleted scenes, 1,000%.
Would you talk about Satan?
Together we burn.
When they walk in, everybody in the office is like applauding them. They head over to everybody, and then from the distance, like where Dolores' desk is, you just hear her yell, Holden Wiener? Holden Wiener? Really, guys? That's when the guy, Holden, actually walks out from the bathroom and goes, it's actually Weiner. I get that all the time.
I would change my first name.
I would just go by Wiener. I would just never correct people. Be like, yep.
Yeah, why not at that point? Embrace it.
I feel like too many people, though, once you have it, you're attached to it. And it's tough to all right, I'm just going to never use that name again, so.
With a last name that gets mistaken for Wiener all the time, you can name your kid Holden.
I mean, that is a bad parental move, yeah. You name the
But
kid
I feel like
Giants.
generationally, I mean, I feel like we grew up, like when we were going through like puberty, just happened to be also like the fucking most sexualized time in the entire country outside of maybe like when it was like a little bit of free love stuff going on in the 60s, but everything's like hypersexualized now.
Can you imagine being 15 again? Like the hormones of like being 15, like what a fucking nightmare that was we all lived through.
It's better than being 40.
Look, I'm not saying it's better or worse being 40. I'm just saying at least your hormones now are just like, the weird thing you like now. You're like, yeah, girls on a mop. You're like, whatever, I don't know, fucking where shit
Girls
is.
on a mop.
I don't know. Like, you figure that shit out. When you're 15, you're just like, some girl walks by and like, you smell them and you're like, rah! Like, your are so crazy, At least you figure out your insanity by 40.
So after he corrects him on the name, he's like, oh, I get that all the time. He's like, by the way, I need a signature for this package here. I think it's an espresso machine. Frank walks up and goes, ooh, I'll take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Wiener.
That's it. That's the end of the show.
I do feel like the episode ended a little abruptly because there wasn't enough of a punch on that final like joke, but whatever.
I want the Wiener joke in there, but maybe put it in earlier and end the episode on the moon. That's the perfect ending to this episode.
So yeah, with all that in mind, I mean, that was the entirety of the episode, and I don't know I tried reading up on this episode as best I could, but the only information that you really see is like, and then on this date, they renewed it for the 3rd season. And then on this date, they renewed it for the 4th season. And you're like, all right, well, that's whatever. But yeah, not to drag this episode on too long, might as well get into the green light or cancel. And I'll take the first one for the one and only time probably I'll ever go first. But listen, yeah, for the show, like I had a couple issues up front with it. Like I said, I didn't love the dynamic between Frank and Shred at the time. Like I just felt like it was a little off, but there was like, it does all come into play later on. So like it kind of works out. Ultimately I'm going to give this a green light. I did enjoy this show quite a bit. I thought the animal thing was going to be a little too much for me. Like, I don't know why, but like farm type stuff or zoo stuff, like it doesn't catch my eye all the time. This show's obviously going to have animals in every episode. They gave us, I think, a good amount of layers to some of these characters with limited time, and there was a lot of people in the episode. I thought they kind of paced it really well. Yeah, not a perfect episode. Like, it's not my favorite show, but like this is a show I definitely could see myself like binge watching. So green light for me, and then I'll take it to Nick.
I really don't know on this show. I'm gonna workshop this one in real time. I like the characters. I don't like, and I say this. I like Joel McHale. I think he's funny. I think there's a lot of things he does very well. But this just isn't anybody who has ever seen Community. It's just not far enough from being Jeff Winger, right? It's the same exact character. It could be him. There's no discernible difference between him and Jeff Winger, which is fine. You know, they're both funny characters, but I just don't know if I love it in this role. I think the rest of the cast is good enough that that's not really going to bother me too much. And I do wonder if the plot is sustainable, just animal control. But I guess it's as sustainable as any other workplace style comedy. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't love it, but I don't think there's enough there for me to cancel it. I think there's enough meat on the bone to at least want to see another episode. So yeah. So yeah, it's a green light, I guess. Here we are. It's a green light.
Ferg.
Yeah, I didn't love this, but I gotta go with the reality is that I watched this pilot on my own and I continued watching it. Which, gotta green light it there because that was real life. But I think the cast is great. I love everyone in it. I just don't think the jokes are quite funny enough, but it's a compelling story, and going forward, you can think, oh, I wonder what kind of crazy calls are going to go on. They just saw ostriches. I wonder what they're going to see next. So there's that, and you get the will they, won't they with the boss. It has enough to pull you in to want to see more. So based on that, it'll get my green light, but it's a light green light. This isn't my favorite show.
Joe.
I think you're agreeing with Ferg. It's a light green light. Not my favorite show. I like everyone in this. I like Joel McHale a lot. You know, Ferg mentioned he'd seen it and kept watching it. My wife was like, I love this show. I watched it. I was like, it's fine. I would watch it again. I don't think it'd be a show I'd watch without like not looking at my phone or doing something else. Like it'd be a background show. I love like cop procedurals. I don't know why that is. I have weird stuff with like not liking cops, but liking cop shows and cop movies. And I like the references to the sort of tropes of those and making it funnier. And I think Nick mentioned too, like, what's the next animal we'll get, right? Like, that's always like a thing you're like, okay, I'm intrigued by, like, what's the next thing we're going to see? So for that, it's a green light. It's a light green light, but it's a green light. It's not the worst show in the world. It's a show I wouldn't turn off. I think it makes sense to me that we're going on to season 5, but it also is crazy to me that, like, this is the one show from Fox we've heard of out of years and years of doing this show. So, Fox, whatever you did with this show, do more with your other shows, because we want to see them. Green light.
So with that in mind, that's 4 out of 4 so far. So regardless of whatever Gordo ends up voting for, it's still going to be a green light for Animal Control. So congratulations. You do see another episode with us. I want to thank all you guys for listening. Remember, S1E1pod.com is where you can find all the links to where you can listen to us if you want to buy a shirt, anything like that. Follow our social medias, S1E1pod, and hit us up, talk to us. We want to know shows you want us to cover. In general, it's just nice getting to know some of you as things have kind of grown with us, and we have more of you guys hitting us up. It's just really nice, and it's warming for us to know that like we're not just shooting these episodes out into the sky. To hear people who enjoy us and tell us how they found us is really cool. So please do that. But yeah, with all that being said, that's it for this week. We'll catch you next week with another new episode. Until then, thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best like those bones circling orbit.